All right, everybody. Well, welcome. We still have some people coming in, but I'm going to get this thing going here for us today. So grateful that everybody's here today. We're going to be diving into how we can just, first of all, have great events. We want to have great events anytime we attend an event or host an event. We want to make sure it's a great experience for everybody, but we also want to make sure that that time we're putting into people is going to result in a long-term good experience, and that's them being a part of your school long term. So we're excited to share this stuff with you today. I'm Travis. Most of you guys know me by now. This is John, who you also probably know. Hello, John.
Hi, how's it going? I think I got everything streaming, but it's crazy over here, man. It's like the jet uh dashboard. It's insane.
Same here. I got a lot of screens going, so I'm not looking out the window or anything when we're talking. Just
No.
making sure that all the chat and different avenues that people have are being responded to. But go ahead and just say hello in the chat wherever you are. We'd love to just kind of see where you're from. Some of you we know from our student magnet program. Some of you we've never met before. Some of you we talked to before. So just gotta, if you could throw in the chat your name, where you're from. We just want to say hello and welcome you in. Today, when we look at events, so looking at how we can make sure that we are executing flawless events that will drive growth to the school. We're looking at really two different events. We're looking at events that you attend, your fairs, your festivals, or events that you host. Now, I don't know if there's any other types of events out there. You're either attending one or you're hosting one. So that should really cover kind of the gamut. Reminds me of this old basketball coach back in the 90s when the Magic were bad, the Orlando Magic. They couldn't win a game, John. They were just terrible. And they asked the coach after the game, so what are you going to do? He's like, well, we can't win on the road and we can't win at home. I'm just trying to figure out where else we can play the game. There's nowhere else to play, right? So there's nowhere else to you're either hosting an event or
Yeah.
you're attending an event to kind of share with the community. And today we want to take a look at how we can make sure they're great events that result in students. So, John, where do you want to start here today? I'm going to say hello to all these people saying hi in the chats.
Yeah, sounds good. So I think probably three main things that we should probably cover in this. And for those of you that have been on our trainings before, a lot of times, we're kind of just conversational. I'd love to hear from some people in the chat, like what kind of events you've done in the past. Do you do a lot of hosting of events at your school, or are you going to events like, local play in the park type things or community events and parades and that kind of stuff? What kind of events are you doing? Are you attending more? Are you hosting more? Are you doing a little bit of both? Are you doing like ninja nights? Are you doing dance parties? Are you doing parents night outs? Let us know in the chat what you guys are doing. If you're here with us on Zoom, feel free to put that in the chat on Zoom. If you're watching on one of the social channels or on YouTube or wherever, just leave it in the comments and let us know. We kind of have a mission control that's pulling in all the comments, and sometimes we can't always see the names and who it's from or where it's from, but um, somebody's having trouble hearing us. Tommy,
Yep,
it
I got
must be
them.
something on your side. Okay, yeah. I think three things I'd like to cover is talking through how to promote those events the right way. And, we can get into a little bit of like ads and posts and stuff, but really promoting those events, super, super important. And then probably the second thing would be uh, sort of the misnomer that if you just have an event that people will come and then they'll have a great time and they'll just be knocking down your door to sign up for classes. I think it's a big misunderstanding. And I think sometimes people get disappointed when they do an event and then no one signs up or only a couple people sign up. So, talking through some of the things that really have to take place, mainly just collecting contact information so that you can get back to people that have been there and did have a great time, but then life happens and they get on to the next thing. And if you're not doing your part to follow up with them, we can talk through some of that stuff. And then, of course, this is all too hard. It's all too much work, and I don't want to do it. That's a very common misbelief too. I think we can kind of run through some of those myths
Yeah.
and talk through how it really can be super easy and how it can be pretty much automated on that stuff. So I don't know. How's the comment section looking to you, Travis?
Looking good. Tommy's getting his
Good.
audio connected. Everybody else looks like they're good to go. Kind of looking at that first thing, John, the ad. So how do I get people to my events, right? There's a few different ways. You can run ads. You can post to your socials. If you're like, well, how do I post to my socials? Ask me for the training on the social media posting that we did a couple weeks just before break there a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And we'll show you exactly how you can get things very easily with AI and everything posted. But really, honestly, running ads to an event, there is some nuance to that. So that's something that I would say is maybe kind of a separate training because that can get very technical.
Yeah.
So if that's something you're like, well, hey, I want to learn how to run ads to an event and get people to that, just go ahead and type in the word game in the comments. That's an old word we use for me to remind me to reach out to you. So if you write game in the comments, I'll reach out to you about what it looks like to run ads to a specific event to get people to attend. That's typically more for when you're hosting an event, right? You wouldn't really
Yeah.
run ads for something that you're attending a fall festival. Now you might promote it to your socials, promote it in-house, but you want to run ads for someone else's event. So that's why there's a lot of nuance to that. So if you're curious what that nuance looks like, I'd love to talk to you more detailed about that on an individual basis because there's a lot of variables. Just type the word game in the comments and I'll reach out to you after this is over or maybe in the middle to try and find some time. JSK, Anthem, Anaheim, awesome. Can you just throw your name in there? Because I'm not quite sure who that is and I don't want to miss you there. Okay,
Yep.
awesome. Thanks, Andy. And then you throw your last name in there too. That'd be good, Andy. If you don't mind, or just shoot it to me privately. That would be good.
Yeah.
So then narrowing it down to the A's in the alphabet. But so that's kind of the first thing is, hey, how do we get people to our event? Now, one thing when you go to events, and this is where we dive into the next couple things, is they should be well attended as it is. So how do I take an event that I'm hosting, or how do I take an event that I'm at and convert that into leads, and then convert those leads into students, right? That's obviously we want to have a great time. And this training came to us from a personal story. We had an event at our church. John and I are very involved at our church, and we were helping organize a fall festival here in Georgia. And it was a great fall festival. It was a great time. There was probably what, about 400 or 500 people there, John, something like
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
which was great. It was a great turnout. Really engaged group of people. And actually, one of the schools that we've helped grow came to the event, and really great guy. And he had the axe, like the plastic axe throwing at his table. People were having fun. I probably 400 or 500. I mean, he probably had about 400 to 500 people stop at his table.
Yep.
I was super excited for him. And
Me
afterwards, he
too.
said, "Hey, how did everything go? Did you get some good leads? Did you get how many leads did you? I want to know how much contact info you got." He's like, "Oh, well, I didn't really get anybody's name or number or anything, but everybody had a great time, and I hope they show up."
Yep.
And I was like, "I hope so too," but people may have had a good time, but then they go home.
Right.
They have to go to school the next day and they have to do all these things, and that great time goes away. So we need a way to remind them of getting that great time. We also need to make it a seamless process for them. So the first thing we want to look at when we execute flawless events, the first thing we want to do is simplify how to collect that lead information. So John, I'll hand that off to you as I see some comments here
Yeah.
about simplifying that. Yes, you can have a clipboard with name, email, phone number, but man, that's a tedious process for everyone. I don't want to write out a bunch of stuff. You don't want to have to then input that into an Excel spreadsheet and make manual phone calls. So, John, what would we do here to make sure we're collecting that lead info pretty easily?
Yeah, 100%. So at that same event, actually, our church, Travis and I had set up a quick, simple little form landing page that just asked for name, email, phone number. And Travis went over to the Walmart across the street from the church and bought a $100 TV. And we put the TV on the table when people arrived, and we just put a QR code up at that table, and it said, "Scan this QR code and enter to win this TV." And I think every single person that came through that event, probably, I mean, we had at least 400 or 500 people there. I think we had probably the same number of people register to win that television. All they had to do is put their name, email, phone number in it. They scanned a code. It just popped open a page that very simple. I asked for name, email, phone. They put that in. When they hit submit, it took them to a page that just said, "Thanks for entering. We'll let you know." And then we just did a random drawing with a digital randomizer thing and pulled a name. But every single person there, we got their contact information, and we were able to invite them to church the next weekend. So, it's a pretty easy, incredible process to get a lot of contacts at one simple event. And our school owner friend could have easily done the same thing. But we hadn't I get we could take some responsibility on that. We hadn't trained him on any of that stuff. We had trained him, he is in our student magnet program for like running ads to a school.
Yep.
And we just invited him because he was local.
Yeah, that's not a blame on him. It's a
No.
short, we should have helped equip him ahead of time. And that's why we
Yeah.
wanted to, that's what I was kind of saying that's what really inspired us to do this because we want to equip people. And Tim in the comments said a QR code. Yes, that's so basically what we did is we had a TV QR code, people scan the QR code, very simple to make. And we're going to walk through that here in a second. That goes to a form.
Hmm.
And then that goes into an automation system that then the next day can just say, hey, thanks for seeing us here. Or hey, sorry you didn't win the TV, but we do have a free week pass as a
Yep.
consolation prize, right?
Second
So
second prize. Everybody gets second prize.
everybody gets a second prize. Everybody gets a duck out of the claw machine, right? So,
That's right.
um, having some, I mean, really, if you think about a $150 TV, it's a big visual.
Yep.
Everybody wants a TV. Everybody wants that, and it gets people's attention immediately. They're going to stop and look at that. They're going to scan. They're going to give accurate info because they want to win that TV. And really, $150 really isn't super expensive to collect 500 contacts, right?
For real.
400 contacts, and just have them scan it and then automation. It doesn't have to be a TV. The reason why I picked a TV for the church is for that reason.
Yeah.
It's its own billboard. People stop and want to see what it is, right? Um, so yeah, having some type of reason for them to give you their information. Now, if you have an event at a school, it could be as simple as a waiver, like a liability waiver, which you could automate as well. Have just a simple QR code that goes to a liability waiver, name, email, phone number, check off a box. I'm not going to sue the school if little Johnny breaks his ankle at at the
Right.
birthday party, right? Which is a totally, I mean, you guys probably already have liability waivers,
Yeah.
but then to have an automation built into that submission of a liability waiver is going to one, solve part three that we're going to talk about today, but two, make sure that we're following up in a nice casual way. Like if it's a birthday party, hey, we're so great that little Susie had fun at the birthday party. We wanted to offer her a free week pass to anybody that attended the birthday party. Should I set
Yep.
one aside for you? And that's the text message. And they say,
Simple.
yes, please. That'd be awesome. We had a great time. It was just yesterday. She had an awesome time yesterday. She wants to go back. So John, what would that look like if someone wanted to set up like a form and a QR code to have a follow-up? Should we get into the nitty-gritty of that today?
We can. I mean, we have that stuff already built into the follow-up ninja. So essentially, it's just as simple as like activating the URL, which takes about 3 seconds to just kind of click through a couple of things. And the page is built. And so when someone, when you host the page, you'll have your own specific URL for that. You can either put it on your own, if you want to get real technical, you can put it on your school's website URL, or we have domains that we own that are very kind of general, like, Tap Your Book Online and Karate Academy US, and, all those kind of like simple, sort of general URLs. You can use ours. But essentially to create a QR code inside of Chrome, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's these three little dots over on the right-hand side of Chrome, any Chrome browser. And if you click this, I don't think you'll see the menu that pops up. Do you see that
Yeah,
comes
we
up
see
there?
it. Yep.
So if you click that and then you click this little save and share, that's probably, you don't see it's going off the side of my screen. But in this menu right here where it says save and share, there's a thing that says create QR code. And when you click that, it just creates a QR code. I don't know if you can see that little pop-up window either. But it creates
You
this.
can't see the pop-up window, but on that pop-up, there's simply just the thing that says create QR code.
Yep. Yeah. It just says create QR code, and then you can just download it. I'll go ahead and download it so you can see what it looks like. But because that should open in a Google Chrome document. Let's see if I can get that to open up.
And as John's opening that up, so basically to recap, what we need to do is at an event, we've gotten people to events. If you need to run ads, type in game and I'll talk to you about what that looks like. But we're at an event that people are at. We simply need a digital form and a reason for them to fill it out. So some type of raffle, some type of reason for them. And a night, again, I think a TV is just a no-brainer. They're so easy to get. You just go down to Walmart. Doesn't need to be an 80-inch, whatever. So get a TV, no-brainer. And so then we have a reason for them to give us information. Or if they're coming in for a birthday party, then it could be a waiver or some type of thing like that. But we just need a digital form that someone can fill out really quickly on their phone that then's going to go to an automation system. The quickest way to get them there is going to be a QR code that goes to a form built in an automation system, and then have automation follow up. So that's kind of a recap where we are right now in the process of making sure that these events are going to drive growth to the school.
Definitely. 100%. Cool. What else? What's next?
So I think the next thing would be the follow-up process, right? We've collected people's info. Last thing we want to do is have an event and not collect people's info or make them feel weird about giving us their info. That's why some
Right.
type of raffle is really good. We want accurate information. We
Yeah.
actually want them to be excited about giving them their info. And I got to keep harping on the TV because it is, I mean, 500 people came to this church, about 400 of them, 350 don't go to the church, and
Yep.
they were all waiting in line to give us their information. They
Right.
were waiting in line to give us their, imagine that. They're waiting in line to give your school their contact info because I went to Walmart and spent 150 bucks.
Yep.
So something, it doesn't need to be a TV, but something that's going to get people to say, I want to give you my information. So we've collected
Right.
accurate information. The next thing that I think is a myth for a lot of people is, okay, I've had these events and we've already dispelled we need to collect their info because it stinks to have an event, spend all this time, not collect any info, and then hope people come in, right? We need a reason to follow up. But now that I have their information, another myth that has is kind of comes up is, man, it's a lot of work to follow up with these people. And it's really draining because now I have a list of 350 phone numbers that I got to find time to dial. And when the first 20 don't answer,
Hmm.
I get really discouraged and I'm like, this is a waste of time. And then I either throw the list away or I put it off to the side or I never do anything with it. And I just get so frustrated because really I just want to be teaching class. I
Right.
didn't want to cold call these people. So, what type of automation would you set up, John? What type of kind of follow up would you have with someone that comes to an event? What would the cadence be? What would the offer be? And then what about long term? What if they don't take that offer? Would you have kind of a long term rekindling, if you will?
Totally. So on something like that, it's a very general audience. So it's not like you're giving away something for your school. Like if you were giving away, say, a free week pass, which is also something you could do, it's going to obviously narrow down the number of people that are ready to jump in and give you their information right away. On something like that, I would probably do like a 7-day follow up where we sent them a few messages that just let them know, hey, your pass starts tomorrow. When do you want to come in to take advantage of that? And we'd kind of work over about a week to 10 days of a follow up on that. On something like the TV, I think it would be, hey, I just wanted to let you know we did the drawing. You didn't win, cry face, something like that. But second prize is a free week. Uh, and so when would you like to come in? And then I think probably one message and perhaps one follow up on that kind of a general thing is probably good enough. And typically, we would set that stuff up ahead of time so that when someone filled out that form, the automation automatically is ready to go. Maybe it waits a day. Maybe it sends them a confirmation right away, like, hey, we have you entered in. Thanks for entering. We'll let you know. And then the next day, it automatically just goes out. So that stuff again is already pre-built into the follow, and then just super easy to set up. You just when someone fills out the form, it sets a trigger for the automation. It puts them into that process, and then you're off to the races. So it's already kind of pre-built, pretty easy to set up as far as everything goes. Very very step by step,
Yeah. And
simple.
then
But
once
it's
you
very
have them in, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you
I
off.
was going to say very customizable too. If you have a TV that you're giving away, or you have something else or some other kind of thing, or if you're going to be at an event, like for example, we used to do an event with my son's school back up in the Chicago suburbs, and it was a blues festival, and there'd be like 20,000 people at this thing. So we didn't need to get everybody's contact information. That would have been insane to try and get everyone's. So we would give out free week passes at that. And so you would get the people, the warmer leads, the people that were more interested because it was such a huge amount of people. It was a 3-day event. We're out there all day sweating our butts off. We would just do either like a prize wheel, and everything on the prize wheel was something related to the school, whether it was a free week or whether it was, get to break a board in front of your friends, or, it was always something that was related to the school. Those kind of things we would do. It's very customizable, I guess, is the bottom line. So no matter what kind of event you're doing, it's really easy to get in there and just change a couple of values and customize it directly to the type of event that you're doing. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can just have one form and then just go in and change the title of the event or the title of the giveaway, and then it
Right.
just will naturally update. Again, you really
Yep.
need a system for that. These are ways to make things easier so that way you don't have to keep building things over and over again.
Right.
Um,
Right. Yeah. If you
and
try to
looking
do it in
at,
something, if you're trying to do it in something like a Weber or like a autoresponder type program or anything that does like where you can blast messages out, even just to come up with all those messages for every single event, that can be a little bit,
Yeah.
make you not want to do it. I remember just before any systemization of stuff like that, when we'd have to cold call, the phone would weigh 1,000 pounds before that first call. You're like, I don't even want to pick this thing up, So to have it all pre-built and easy and automated is
Yeah.
makes it
And
so
and the
much easier.
value there isn't just getting students. The value is there that you can focus on what you need to focus on, which is people that are scheduling appointments. Because then if you really have the automation like the follow-up nudge is set up, someone responds, they can book an appointment, and then you're really just interacting with them when they come in or if they have questions. And then other than that, you're just really dealing with your classes and running your school. You're not spending all day in front of a computer or waiting for callbacks or anything like that. Um, and then the value of that also is now you have an entire list of people inside of your CRM or your follow-up system, which the follow-up ninja is, and really now you can send promotions out to them about certain things. So they've been to, a parent night.
Yep.
Well, maybe you have another parent night 3 months later, or they've been to a parent night and now you're going to be at a fall festival. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, come visit us at blank
Yep.
for the chance to win blank.
Yep.
Right.
For
And
sure.
now you can just kind of just be a very casual, kind of information source for them. We're not selling them anything.
Yeah.
We're just giving them opportunities to be a part of what we're doing. They had a great time, right? So they had a great time because you guys have good events. So really, it just allows you, as opposed to having this list of phone numbers. It's like, all right, we're also having another parent night out in 3 months. Man, do I want to enter all these emails in and write an email to everybody or send one email blast with everybody CC'd from my personal email that looks kind of
Oh,
strange? Like, no,
very
I
weird.
could just actually click a button that sends them, hey, we're having another parent night out on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Or hey, it's Valentine's Day. That's a big thing, like Valentine's Day. Hey, I'm going to give a parent night out, so that way the parents have, kind of a way to go spend time together. Or Christmas is a big one too. Like, hey, parent night out on Christmas to do their shopping, right? Stuff
Yep.
like that. So it just
Yeah. And
allows you to be more versatile with how you reach people. Because honestly, if you're a dance studio owner or a martial arts school owner, sometimes you're going to get people in the door from other experiences rather than like, hey, we offer martial arts or we offer dance programs. Sometimes you're going to
mhm.
get people in the door because they had a really good time at parent night out, or they met you at a fest and they just connected with you, and they just want to be a part of the culture, right? So there's
Yep.
different ways to get people in the door as opposed to, hey, here's the classes that we have to offer. And by having an automation system from your events, you're able to just kind of customize and reach out to these people as often as you like. So, um, someone did ask a question, John, or they kind of mentioned, hey, with the QR code, I just want to be clear about this. When you do this, you want to make sure that the opt-in digitally goes directly to a form.
Yes.
Don't want it to go to like a website or something like that where they're then going to opt in there. Two reasons. One, now I'm on a website and there's just kind of like, there's a lot of distractions. Like, just make it simple. I
It should
want it
look
to
like
look like
this.
that. The only option for someone to have is to give me their name, email, phone number. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all I want them to do is be able to do that. And then they send it to, and again, this might say, enter your chance to win blank. And that can be
Yes.
customized, right? It should just
Exactly.
look very simple like that. If you really want to maybe add a logo to the top, that would probably be maybe it. Again, super easy to do with follow-up ninjas, kind of just drag and drop. Um, but that's
Yep.
it. And then that goes into the system, and then I let the system follow up with them. I don't want to send them down a rabbit trail of a bunch of information because they're
No.
really just giving you their information for the TV,
Yes.
right? They don't want to know about all your programs. Now, they
No.
might ask you about your programs. Then you can direct them to your website, which should be optimized for people to, again, opt in and come in the door, which we talked about in a previous training, making sure that your website isn't just information. It's actually taking people through a path to come in the door and become a student. But it should really just look like this. Enter the raffle below. That's it. Boom, they enter it. And then as they're talking to you, they might ask about your programs. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can actually access our website, right? You have a different QR code or dancestudio.com or whatever it is.
Right.
That way they can get there. So that was a good
This
question that someone asked about an
this is
event.
the actual form that we used at the church for the
Yeah.
TV. This is it.
Yeah.
No
That's perfect
logos.
because I know church isn't an equal comparison. Everybody's got kind of, but as far as, hey, we want to reach people, right? You guys want to reach people for your schools. Our church wants to reach people for the church. it was a nice chance for us to invite them to Christmas service. A lot of these,
Here's
you know, a lot of people and just say, "Hey, we're having Christmas service at these times. Hopefully, we see." You." And that was it. It wasn't. It was just, "Hey, let them know Easter service, things like that." So when we
exactly.
have things at the church, like we'll probably have another event here in the spring. We'll just say, "Hey, it was great seeing you at the Fall Fest. It was great seeing you at blank.
Yep.
Just to let you know, we're having a chili cook-off. You know, blah blah blah." Oh, that's cool. We had so much fun there. Those people were so nice. That kind of stuff. And then they start to become part of your culture. They might not ever become students, but now they've been to your school, they've met you, they tell someone else, well, hey, we didn't join there, but I do know there's a martial arts school, or I do know there's a dance studio over there, and the people were awesome. Yeah, we entered for a TV, but we didn't win. But man, they actually gave us a free pass. It was super sweet.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. So just a quick note on the simplification of a form like this. The reason it's set up this way is because people are going to be opening this on a mobile device and it's going to look like this. So if you have like 50 million links and all sorts of logos and images and background pictures and all that stuff, for one, it's going to load really slow. For two, it's going to be super distracting. If they scan a QR code and it says enter a raffle, and then the only option they have is to put their information in to enter the raffle, they're either going to do it or they're going to close the window. But they're not going to click around on 50 things and get distracted and lost. And
Yeah.
so that's why we set it up like this. Um, it looks very similar, but when you think about it on a mobile device, it really looks more, um, you know, it looks like just a mobile app,
Yep.
it's very simple.
Yeah. And the other aspect of the raffle too, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it builds in a natural reason to follow up.
Exactly.
It's a natural reason of, yes, you won, come by the school to pick up your prize,
Yep.
or sorry you didn't win the blank, but we do have another prize for you. It's a free pass or whatever. Come
Yep.
by the school to pick it up. When would you like to come by? And then it creates a natural of, when would you like to come by? And then we get
Right.
them scheduled. They come in the door. So, um, but you really need to automate that, because if you get 400 names on a sheet, man, you
Yeah.
have a school to run, right? So,
Yeah.
um, anything else? I think that's really it, John. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Do you want to run ads to events that you're hosting? Yes, that's a nuanced thing. Type the word game in the chat if you want me to talk to you about that more specifically. That's its own thing by itself. But let's say we're getting people to our events, we're attending events. We need to make sure we have a natural, super easy way to collect their information, that they want to give you their information. And when we need, it's like a must to have an automation process to follow up with collecting that information that has the design of getting people in the door, not just saying thanks for coming and then saying, oh, I hope they come in. I said thank you. A natural conversational way to get them in the door. And that's really it. If you can do those simple things,
Yep.
every event you have is going to result in students enrolling. It's a no-brainer. People are going to come in and they're going to enroll in your. I don't want to say guarantee, but I feel very, very confident that you will never have an event that doesn't result, a well-attended event that doesn't result in people wanting to learn more about your school and potentially sign up as a student. So, um,
Absolutely.
did you have anything else, John, or should we kind of open this up to any questions as you're kind of closing it out?
Yeah, I think we can open up some questions, but I'm pretty excited about sharing the new resource that we just pushed into the Follow Up Ninja for people who already have the Follow Up Ninja. Some of you might have already heard of this. We call it Event Launch. And this is actually like an 8 module training on how to do all this stuff we just talked about step by step. So it has, all of the planning parts of it, the themes, the templates, all the different parts of doing an event, having an event, hosting an event, promoting an event, and there's even a training in there on how to run ads to your event. So all of that's included in the event launch, and we just push this to everybody that has the Follow Up Ninja. If you don't have the Follow Up Ninja yet, we're going to share with you how you can get it on a special deal here today too. But if you already have it, this is going to be pushed into the resources section of the Follow Up Ninja. But this is basically what the curriculum looks like. So this is a training, and there's resources included with the training. But essentially, you've got the way to pick themes, you've got backwards planning, all sorts of promotional assets that you can create with just a couple of clicks of a button. A very easy Facebook. It's probably the easiest Facebook ad campaign that you could ever run. And then some ways to train the leadership and staff on how to do the event, bringing it all together. We threw in some extra stuff down at the bottom here too, as well as like some Facebook ads training and some organic methods for just getting students. So I'm super excited to be pushing this into the Follow Up Ninja. So if you don't have the Follow Up Ninja, I just want to give you a little basic rundown of everything that it includes. If you were to sign up for the Follow Up Ninja today, you would get all of our plug and play automations, not just for events, but everything for website follow up, ad follow up, lead follow up, appointment reminders, all that stuff is all included in there as well. To have something like that built for you would be worth easily $2,000 a year to have that built and to use it. We also have a mobile app that's called Lead Connector that you can log into on your mobile device, and you can access every lead, all the appointments, everything inside of the Follow Ninja as well. That is worth it easily $10 a month to $120 a year. We have a reputation review management, which if you haven't seen our training on that, you should definitely go back and watch it. It's probably in the one of the groups you're on, or you can just ask us for it and we'll send you the link. Reputation review management, probably one of the biggest levers you can pull to get free leads to your website and into your school. That's easily worth $3,000 a year. People pay $300 a month just to have a company review, do their review management, like send them review requests and make sure that you're answering them. Super easy. We have our automated appointment reminders. That's $240 a year if you're using something like Calendly or some kind of event planner. I forget what the other one, I don't know what it is. But we have social media planner as well. That was an awesome training that we just did recently too. So if you were in that one, you saw that, you can see all the details about the social media planner. I won't get into the details of that, but that's easily worth $350 a year. Of course, the event registration and promotions that we talked through today, all that stuff's already built into the Follow Up Ninja and ready to go. It's including like the landing pages, the forms, the follow-ups, the automations, everything's customizable, even instruction on how to do the event with the event launch is all included in there as well. And then, of course, the student membership portal, which we're going to be doing a training on here pretty soon, that I'm excited to do on that as well. Total value of this, $6,560 a year, easily over $500 a month in real world value that you can get today, not for the normal $6,560 price, not for our regular $3,000 per year, but for only $167 per month, you can get the Follow Up Ninja with all of that stuff included in it. So Travis is going to post a link to the Follow Up Ninja to sign up right now. Yep, looks like he already did. So you can click that link in the comments or in the chat, or wherever you're at. If you're on Zoom, it's probably in the chat. If you're in one of our social channels, it's going to be in the comments, and you can click that link. If you don't see it, you can just go to thefollowupninja, all one word.com, and you can just click the link to enroll right there. $167 a month is all it costs to get all of that stuff. And really the best part about all that is that you can get this set up in about 10 minutes. You just answer a few questions, you fill out a few forms, and you're good to go. But really, what I love to do is talk about what it would be worth to you. If you're only charging, like, let's say $150 a month for lessons right now, if all this did would help you get 6 new students this year, think about that. If one potential student is slipping through the cracks every other month, it's not a lot, right? 6 students in this year. If we did the math on that, $150 a month times 6 students in this year would be $900 a month in revenue. And if they stick around for 12 months, which most do, 12 months or more, that's $10,800 in value added to your school for a tool that's $167 a month. That's only if one student every other month enrolls because of something you're doing with this tool. I'm under the suspicion that it would probably be much more than that. But if just 6, this is worth $10,000 in added revenue to your school. Obviously, there's no guarantees. It depends on what you do with it, the work you put into it. But I mean, really think about that. One student every other month, this is worth 10 grand. And it would be a steal if we charge $6,500 for this. But obviously, we're doing this for $167 a month, and you can cancel anytime. There's no contracts or anything, so you can sign up. If you hate it, you can cancel it. We're not going to chase you down and try and talk you into things. There's a couple of clicks and you cancel, but it comes with everything we talked about: those plug and play automations, the mobile app, the reputation review management, the automated appointment reminder, social media planner, event promos and registration, the student membership portal. All of that you can get right now at the followupninja.com. For $167 a month. We also have another special going on as well. We'll get through some of this stuff with our annual upgrade. So if you were to upgrade to the annual billing, you get 2 free months, and you get a fully customizable lead generating website. This thing has been battle tested in hundreds of accounts. across the US. And we've proven this thing over and over again that it gets free leads. It has great SEO. It's got basic SEO, but then we also have a Google business profile training where we actually show you a couple of easy things that you can do on your Google business profile to get free traffic to your website. And that is the biggest lever you can pull as far as getting free traffic to your site. We give you that training as well, included if you upgrade to the annual, and you get the free website and 2 months free of the Follow-Up Ninja just by upgrading. You'll see that option as well on the page at thefollowupninja.com. So really, I mean, we're also throwing in a one-on-one onboarding call. I forgot about this. So if you upgrade to the annual billing, or if you don't, either way, if you've not used the Follow-Up Ninja before, we're going to go ahead, and if you want or need, we're going to jump on a call with you just to give you a customized start so that you can hit the ground running, make sure that you get all your answers, your questions answered, all that stuff. We'll learn about your goals. We'll see where you're at. It's going to make it so much easier and faster for you if you did that. You see, we're going to give you all this stuff, including the website. If you were to do the upgrade, that's an extra $2,000 per year value. I don't know of many websites that you can, maybe like a Wix website or something, but a really good website that is optimized for Google, that's designed to generate leads. I don't even know where you'd get one for $2,000 a year. We're giving it to you for free. That bumps that value up to $8,500 in real world value, $700 a month for $167 a month. Pretty silly not to do it if you're not.
I mean, even if you just did it to, hey, I have a few events coming up, I'm going to use this software for the few events that I have coming up. If it gets me one student, then and that student stays, now I have a fully automated system that does social media posting, build websites, follow up with all my ads, follow up. I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer, because it's like, hey, really just ask yourself, will this get me one more student at my next event? Will doing this process, having this, or social media posting, or anything else we change, is it worth one more student? If the answer is yes, then there's no reason not to have it.
Exactly. Cool. Well, do you see any questions coming in while we're on with this, or?
I'm gonna stop our recording so that way we can just open it up to any questions you all have. Tim Miller has a question coming in. Tim, go ahead and throw that in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, we're happy to chat.
Yeah, cool. I'll unmute. Hey, listen, on my current website, I've got like 3 different spots where I've got buttons where people can click to get the free kickboxing pass or the free week Taekwondo pass. I'm just wondering, am I limiting myself by having those always available on the site, or should I do something different?
No, I don't think you're limiting yourself. I think it's when you have that stuff on the site, that's what the site's for, is to, get people who are interested to give you their contact information. So if you've got places where they can get a free pass for any of those things all over the website, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's a limitation at all. I think it's
you never know when they're ready to get right. So they might look at the front page. Well, I want to know more information. I want to know about the instructors. So look at the instructor. Oh, these instructors look awesome. Well, we want it to be right there. Here, we don't want them to have to go back. Or, hey, where was that thing again? We kind of want it to always be on the forefront of whatever stage they're in, of action taking, that it's just easy for them to do it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep. Good question. Awesome. Anything else?
Good question. Yep. No, looks like that's it. Awesome.
Okay. Any other questions from anybody? Looking at all our channels here, feel free to chat them in, or you can unmute if you have our time here for a few minutes if you need them.
Sure do. Let me show you what the Follow-Up Ninja site looks like while you're doing that. If you go over to the Follow-Up Ninja, it should look like this. There's a nice little video over here that gives you a little overview of how the Follow-Up Ninja works. And then to get started, you just click this button here, and you can see you've got the ability to sign up for the $167 a month. You just fill out the simple form, or you can upgrade to the 2 free months with the free website and annual billing, and it will automatically push that website into your account as well. Of course, this integrates with all these different things. And, once you fill this out, you click create account, and you'll have about instant access. Sometimes it takes, 10 minutes or so for the credentials to get over to you, but that's it. I mean, it's super simple. And once you're logged in, you fill out a couple of forms, and everything is already customized to your school. So very, very, very simple. Simple.
Sweet. Well, John, I don't have any other questions that are coming in. So I think we must have done a great job.
We musta. Cool. Well, I'm going to play that quick little video for everybody just so they can see a little bit more about the Follow Up Ninja. And then once that video is over, we'll call it a day.
If you have any questions while that's playing, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll definitely make sure we get them covered for you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. What if there was one simple tool that you could plug into your social media and your school website that would double, triple, and sometimes even quadruple your odds of converting leads into paying students? I'm about to show you a tool that is proven to do just that, and with no tech savvy needed. It's probably easier to use than anything you've ever tried before. It's called the Follow Up Ninja, and the idea is simple but powerful. Here's how it works. When you sign up for the Follow Up Ninja, you're able to click a few buttons and follow a few dead simple steps to link the app to your social media profiles and website. Once you're linked up, every new lead that comes in from your website, social media, messenger, and even lead form ads will automatically start getting follow-up messages that nurture them towards signing up for your classes. So how does this simple tool boost conversions immediately? The reason is simple: hybrid intelligent automation. This eliminates all possible human errors, and more importantly, it eliminates the frustration of chasing down bad leads. The number one, absolutely most frustrating thing about doing lead follow-up manually is the time wasted on leads who never answer the phone and never take any action. It's the reason why most school marketing campaigns fail. On the flip side, the issue with automation has always been that it's missing that human touch and can be confusing if a lead responds with a question and then gets the wrong answer to their question or some other automated response instead. If people think a machine is talking to them, they will get frustrated or simply ignore it. This has always been the issue with automating the process until now. The Follow Up Ninja destroys this challenge with its one-of-a-kind hybrid intelligence model. The automated follow-up messages are friendly and personable, and as soon as a lead replies to the messages, you get notified and can take the conversation over manually. This hybrid intelligence allows you to completely ignore all the bad leads and at the same time allows you to only talk to the highest and best quality leads so that you can still provide that human interaction without getting bogged down in chasing after unresponsive leads. Now, instead of wasting time chasing people down who will never sign up for classes, you can spend your time teaching classes and running your school. The Follow Up Ninja automatically follows up with every lead and notifies you when a lead has a question, books an appointment, or pays for a trial online. For example, let's say you have a Facebook ad running and it's generating 3 to 5 leads per day. To get the most return on your ad spend, you'd have to stop what you're doing 3 to 5 times per day to send out text messages or emails and then wait around for replies. And if none of those leads got back to you on day 1, you're doing twice the work on day 2, trying to juggle the new leads while continuing the follow-up process on the leads from the day before. Every day, the process multiplies in complexity, and it's overwhelming, and then you give up. With the Follow Up Ninja, everything is done automatically. Your leads get daily follow-up messages automatically, plus they even get a link to set their own appointments in time slots you've pre-selected. Worried about double booking? We've got you covered there too. You can set the calendar to accept one appointment at a time or limit it to as many multiples as you want, and you'll never be double booked again. You can even plug the Follow Up Ninja into your Google Calendar with a couple clicks. What about appointment reminders? The Follow Up Ninja will automatically send appointment reminders via text message to your leads so that you can count on a high show-up rate. What about situations where you have different class times or different ages or different promotions going on at the same time? It works then too. For example, we've seen school owners promoting a free week of class, camps, even after-school programs, all at the same time, all with different age-appropriate time slots, and the Follow Up Ninja keeps up with all of it. Most importantly, we've seen as high as 50% of cold leads book appointments from an ad on social media. That means if you get 100 leads, you could have as many as 50 appointments. Imagine what you could do with all those appointments. More appointments means more opportunities to enroll more students. In this case, 50 opportunities. Instead of paying thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars to a big team of internet marketers or an agency, or wasting months with trial and error trying to do it all yourself, or even relying on a minimum wage employee to do all the follow-up manually, the Follow Up Ninja comes pre-installed with our winning campaigns that you can easily customize in seconds for nowhere near the cost of a manual solution. Adding the Follow-Up Ninja to your marketing strategy today is guaranteed to boost your conversions. Get access to this powerful hybrid intelligent follow-up tool right now. In just the next few weeks, you could be doubling, tripling, or even quadrupling your conversions by adding this simple tool to your marketing strategy. To get started, just click the button on this page, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.